I've decided to do some night action filming here on the Pinkerton tree that's flowering so heavily. And I've just come out to see what the flowers are doing for interest's sake. And earlier the week throughout the day, I've been seeing a lot of male and female flowers open at the same time on this tree. And at the moment it's 8 p.m. It's a fairly cool winter's night. It's about 9 degrees Celsius. I think that equates to around about 49 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And what I've seen on the flowers that's open, I haven't seen a single open female flower. They're all males, the more complex flower. So definitely at night there's no females open, or when it's colder weather like now. Can see that's a male, and there's a lot of night pollinators. It's like big mosquitoes, all sorts of creepy crawlies and little bugs around this tree and over the flowers. So definitely there is pollen collection on the males tonight. Right now guys are collecting pollen, and so when these close and tomorrow morning comes and the females start opening, then they'll hopefully pollinate. But this year I've definitely noticed a lot on various occasions, different days. I've noticed a lot of male and female flowers open at the same time on this tree. So definitely won't have any pollination issues. It's just a question about temperature. And like it's cold, really cold tonight, temperatures might still go down to around about 5 degrees Celsius, but it should technically, theoretically, start getting warmer because we're going to go into spring. August, everything else is starting to bud and shoot and push leaves. So, and I read an interesting article on Pinkertons, and they say that most of the flowers in the first 2 months, Pinkerton's got a really long flowering season in the first 2 months. So in my case, June, July, even up to August, I won't have a lot of fruit set, and the fruits that'll set and that'll stick are the fruits that get set in late August and September. So at the bottom end or the back end of the flowering stage. So I saw a lot of bugs that I actually wanted to film, just to show that there is pollinators at night. Look who's sitting there. A little pollinator thief. I love these guys, but sure, they can put a dent in the pollinator population. They eat the bees, all the bugs, but I love them. I protect them as much as I can. Chameleons, Neisner chameleon, Neisner dwarf chameleon. So many of them in my garden. So I'm just gonna go over. Here's that little air layer that flowers. That's also male at the moment. So if these were female, I would have had a male there, but they all male. I went through all, not all, but as much as I could see on the Pinkerton there. I didn't see any females, only see male flowers open at the moment. That's more normal than what I've noticed in the past couple of weeks, seeing females and males open at the same time. Now I'm at the Fuerté tree, and over here the Fuerté tree is also just got male flowers open. There's 1, 2, 3 on that cluster that's open. Everything's closed on that cluster. There's one that's a male. That's a male as well. And what I've noticed, the difference in flower size between the Pinkerton over there and the Fuerté over here, is the Fuerté's flowers are much bigger, stronger flower. And I think because it's a more aggressive growing, much bigger tree, they grow insanely tall and wide spreading. Like you can see, this guy's spreading really wide all the way. Whereas the Pinkerton is a dwarf tree, hence I think the flower is so much smaller. So here we've got we've got beautiful new leaves flush that's coming already to protect the fruits that'll set, hopefully. So yeah, these leaves, just look at that absolutely stunning color. It's like a amber red, orange, green. And then so on this cluster of flowers, there's 1, 2, 3 that's flowers that's open, and they're all males. So definitely at night time, these males open by the plenty. You can see all these new leaves, just absolutely stunning. Just look at that new growth coming everywhere on this Fuerté tree. So also just a whole bunch of male flowers open. Just gonna go over around to this side of this tree. It's a male. And no, it's also male. So just males, just males. So hopefully by tomorrow morning there'll still be a whole bunch of males open. The bees can come in when it's a nice sunny day, can get some pollen, and tomorrow afternoon when the males close. But there's definitely an overlap for sure, because like I've said, I've seen males and females open at the same time on the Pinkerton as well as on the Fuerté. And here's my other little Pinkerton, also a really dwarf style tree. I don't think the rootstock that I grafted it on was the strongest of rootstocks. I'll show you quickly. You can see the trunk of this tree. It's about 1.5 inches, around about 3.5, 4, no. So yeah, about 4.5 centimeters wide. And this tree, like I said, is around about 4 years old. Oh, I don't want to lie. Just want to see when I grafted it. Oh, apologies. So I grafted him on the 10th of October 2018. So it'll be 3 years old. Sorry, 4 years old October this year, this little guy. And look at all this new growth that it's sending out. new growth to come up and grow over, flop over, and protect whatever fruits have set, hopefully. And I'm very positive about these trees this season. I think the root rot that I had in the soil, I might have been able to sort out with a medication that I've given the roots, that I drenched it. And this is the little experiment that I had. I think I'm going to pull this tree out. It's growing, it's sending out a lot of new growth. But even after treating it with a high phosphorus, this was alive and had new growth on here, and this already started dying back, as well as their sections on the top. So there is new growth coming out, a lot of these branches, but I'm just keeping it purely as experimental, and I'm gonna just take that tree out come summer, plant something else in its space. So here's my house, and the house are pushing little flowers, and there's more. So he's in the cauliflower stage, also pushing new leaves. There's nice colors over there, nice leaves. There's some flowers. Nothing open that I can see. So it would be interesting to see what the flowers of the house do at night time. So they should be opening within the next week or two, these flowers. But this tree was really ill. I thought it was going to die, and it made a comeback. It's put on a lot of leaves, a lot of foliage again. So it's looking alright. It's looking better. But it's definitely not flowering as heavily as what it did in the past. And like I said, I'd get fruit set and it'd drop all its fruits. Never picked the fruit off of this tree. There's some flower buds. Pushing. So yeah, holding thumbs. I'm just keeping this tree alive as long as I can to get budwood off of it. If it eventually dies of root rot, then so be it. Got a whole area in the back. I'm gonna do plant new trees, and hopefully there's no root rot in the back there. This little seedling tree is pushing new leaves. Did a little patch graft on it there that didn't make it. It was a variety that a friend liked, and he could only get budwood in the middle of winter. And I said, let's give it a go, but none of the grafts worked. I think the wood was a little bit dried out. So, but that's okay. That'll heal over, and I'll allow this little seedling tree to grow and then graft it at a later stage. Here's that absolute freak seedling. Just look at all this new growth on this thing. So yeah, I'll consider this a update, a nighttime update on my aphid trees. Just check this, like intense yellow color, complete wild freak seedling. And this is the one that I pruned at the bottom, split into two, and then I just kept on pruning. And I've got so much branching so low down. It's really cool. And look how the trunk's hardening off. It's a really solid, sturdy trunk. There's my first pruning. In a second, there I've got a split into three. On that side, a split into two. Pruned it over there, and now I've got just this like massive Those 3 and 2 was 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've pruned those, and there's like up to 5, 6 coming out of one cluster like that. So I'm gonna have plenty of space to graft other varieties on. But this tree is so beautiful, and I just think I'm gonna let it grow for another year or 2 or 3. So this is the back side of that Fuerté we were looking at. Just look at that, those colors. It's absolutely stunning, and that's a sign of a healthy tree, I reckon. Flowers, a lot of them, as well as new growth. Just really beautiful branches, and they're weeping over this passion fruit. And there's my little winter grafting experiment. It was a West Indian variety that I grafted this piece of, did a veneer graft, Fuerté, on it, and it's taken well. I did this graft on the 5th of the 5th, and just a couple of months, and it's looking good. And then here's a whole bunch of seedlings that I'm waiting to graft, but the weather temperatures needs to get a little bit warmer. And there's some nice aggressive growing seedlings over here. And I've got a seedling in the ground that I still want to graft at a later stage. So yeah, the main purpose for this video was just to show this Pinkerton at night time. Coldish temperatures, there's a lot of open flowers, and it's safe to say that they're all male at this time of night. I don't know if it looks like this in other parts of the country, or even in other parts of the world where Pinkertons are growing. It would be interesting to know if Pinkertons are doing the same sort of thing in late winter in other parts. Look who's sitting in the middle of the new leaves there, having a good sleep. Tomorrow morning gonna wake up and eat all the bad bugs and pollinate some flowers. Absolutely love to see those little ladybirds. Thanks for watching.